think you have to buy stuff like so cheap, like super cheap, where like it doesn't matter if you start at $1 and sell it at $1. Yeah, so I look at it more like eBay is low volume, higher margin, and then Amazon is higher volume, lower margin.
If The Rock went on there and he sold a roll of toilet paper, he would sell it for like $1,000, right? Started at $1, it'd probably run up to $1,000. That's exactly what they're doing. It says like $200 on the back, but I paid $3 for it. It's good marketing.
But basically, like every bid he gets, he like adds more candy to the box. I'm like, that's like a great angle to do. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Side Hustle Showroom podcast. Today we got KVFlips, Kevin in the house. He does eBay, Amazon, whatnot, the influencer program, but mainly does eBay, Amazon. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for having me on.
Yeah, so give us a little intro about yourself. Tell people who you are.
Yeah, so my name's Kevin, or KVFlips on Instagram and YouTube, and I mainly sell shoes on eBay and Amazon, as well as do online arbitrage on Amazon, and been selling on Amazon since 2021, on eBay since 2020.
Cool. And what about the whatnot? I know that you mentioned something about that. Have you done that a lot?
Yeah, so I sold on whatnot back in 2022 for a little bit, not too much. It was really nothing serious, and right now I started doing it again. It's been around 3 weeks now since I've been doing whatnot.
We've been intrigued by it. I've started doing it. We had some people on that were like big into it. So what has your experience been with it? How you like doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but I host a stream, so I partnered with one of my friends. His name is Chamo Hunter on IG, and we bought Liquidation Pallets, and so he's in the back. When we sell something, he labels it, and I'm hosting. It's kind of difficult hosting, to be honest, but I'd rather do that than be in the back just labeling stuff. And also, it's a little difficult for him because he has like a big accent, so it's hard for him to talk about stuff, and it's hard for people to understand him. I understand him because I know him for years, but for other people, I'm assuming it's gonna be way different.
So has it been profitable with the pallets? So that was we had somebody on Levy. I don't know if you know Levy, but
yeah,
he does the pallets. But I thought about it logistically. I'm like, man, the pallets would be tough to like get into because you got to like have these big things shipped. You kind of need a warehouse storage unit type thing. I don't know, or do you do it out of your house?
Yeah, so we're doing it out of my friend Antonio's house, and as of now, we are not profitable. So that's another reason why I stopped doing whatnot. I first did it with shoes. Did $1 starts, did not go good, but at the same time I was moving dead inventory that was not selling on eBay, which I didn't have a problem with, but it does add up, and right now in the liquidation pallets we are not profitable. I think we're gonna lose some money, but we still have a few shows to do.
So could you give some math? So like, what'd you pay for the pallets? Kind of where are you at with kind of what you've made or what you've lost?
Yeah, so we paid around like 7.3K for 2 pallets. There was around 1,400 units in them, and it was an electronics pallet. So a lot of cables, a lot of useless stuff, and then there was a whole lot of also good stuff, headsets and stuff. But there's more cables and stuff, like shitty stuff, as opposed to the better stuff. And so each came out to like 4.8. Almost $5-ish. Well, with shipping, it was exactly like 4.85 per unit. And yeah, I mean, it's you have to account for everything or try to make up as much as you can on the better products. Because when it comes to those cables and those stuff that nobody wants, you have to sell it for $1, and then whatnot takes the fees and all that, and it's not worth it when you get to the bad stuff.
Yeah. Do you have like any hopes? Like, all right, we're gonna pay $7K for this. Like, hopefully we could get out, I don't know, $10K or double your money, or what were you kind of thinking?
Yeah, I was trying to. We went into it with like open minds. We're like, if we lose money, it's whatever. If we make money, it's whatever. We're just gonna see, because I've never done electronics on whatnot. I just did shoes, but also the $1 starts. People love the $1 starts. If you don't do $1 starts and people aren't bidding on your stuff, you have kind of a dead show, and people want the $1 start. So, um, sorry, I'm rambling. What was the question again?
What were you hoping to get from
Oh
it?
yeah,
So like
yeah,
your investment to what you were hoping to get out.
yeah. I didn't know. We didn't expect much from it, honestly. As we both sold on there before and didn't make money, but at least want to make a little bit. But now it's not gonna happen. But um, yeah.
You think in the future that you're gonna like try to do it more and try to turn it profitable? Because personally, I've been testing stuff. Like I got vintage T-shirts that didn't go well for the same reason you did. Like you get a few with stains and stuff, you got to throw them out. Got your unit costs up. You really got to make it up. And then some stuff just won't sell. Like nobody's gonna bid on it or whatever. Even if you start at $1, if it's like something random. So I've been trying to test, and I'm like, I got to find the right thing. Are you gonna keep testing, or it's just like I'm done with it after the electronics?
No, I'm definitely testing it right now with some shoes. But for the $1, it's hard because
Yeah.
the whatnot people do. They love the $1 starts. If you don't do the $1 starts, and they have an algorithm and stuff. Like if people are bidding, the more bids you have on your show, the more people are gonna be able to show up and all that. So right now, today I ran a show on shoes. Sorry for my dog in the back, dude.
You're
Oh
good.
my.
You're good.
It's all
But
good.
I ran shoes today, um, starting at $39, and the average cost for them were like $26. So not making too much. I ran the show for an hour and 30 minutes, and I only made like 6 sales, which is nothing crazy, but I'm not losing money on any of that stuff. I'm actually making a little bit, nothing crazy. Um, but also my show is not. There's nobody in the show. There's like probably 15 people max, and then everybody leaves when they see there's no $1 starts. So I'm hoping to build an audience and do it a little bit, maybe a few times a week, just the 1 to 2 hour ish mark, to see how that goes.
Yeah, it's tough to get the audience built, but I think the key to that is if you can get an audience, like you got 30, 50 people popping onto your show as soon as you go live, you can basically sell whatever you want. Because I see other people doing that. It's like, I wonder how much time you got to build into to build that audience. Like, do you have to stream 5 hours a day for a while and then just like get to know people that way? Because I've noticed for me, there's people that are recurring, show up and stuff like that. Like people like, I'll be mod or whatever. I'm like, that's pretty cool, but there's only 10 people in here. So like how much, like how, what's it even going to do? I don't know. It's tough to see like where the future of it is, like how, what you have to do, I guess, to get there.
Yeah, I think you have to buy stuff like so cheap, like super cheap, where like it doesn't matter if you start at $1 and sell it at $1. But we aren't there yet with the price. We do want to see if we can source locally, see if we can get anything cheaper. But as of now, I don't know if we're actually going to keep doing whatnot. I'm probably just going to keep testing out these shoe streams, not starting at $1
Yeah.
type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we just had somebody on who does that, who just started doing that, and he was like, "Yeah, I just price them for this, and if they don't sell, I just drop them like $2. So at least like no matter what, I'm not losing." Which I, obviously you're not going to get as many people, but it might be the only way to do it without just losing loads of money on the shoes.
Yeah, there's also people in there who sometimes throw offers, which is pretty cool. But other than that, yeah, that's the way I'm trying to go about it right now. I'm not trying to lose money on the shoes because I know I can make money on the shoes selling them on another platform.
What you got, John?
Yeah, that's so. How does your kind of business break down? So I know you were primarily on eBay, right? And then you went to Amazon. So kind of what's the split there?
So right now, I'm around like 60% Amazon and 40% eBay. Um, but right now, I've been sourcing heavily for eBay because I haven't been on the computer. Because stores have just been pretty good right now, like Ross, Marshalls, and Burlington.
Yeah, you do RA mainly.
Yeah.
Cool.
Interesting.
What else can we got here? What kind of shoes you buying? Nike, Adidas, what kind of stuff?
Mainly Adidas shoes.
Oh, really? So no
Yeah.
Amazon for that then.
Still Amazon for that. Just certain ASINs. I would say the main store ASINs, like the cheapest store ASINs that we were able to buy before, clipped. Amazon is just on those right now. They canceled those out, but everything, like for majority of everything else, I can sell it.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of returns? I used to be in the shoe stuff, so I know the returns can be brutal. Is that something you have to deal with a lot?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. The returns. I don't know my return rate, but I'm pretty sure it's around like 7%, maybe higher, for shoes. But yeah, it just comes along with selling shoes. A lot of times I get them back, and I just throw them up on eBay. Sometimes they're not even worn, or sometimes they're just like tried on or whatever, and I just list them on eBay. No point in trying to get them back on Amazon.
Yeah. What else you got, John?
That makes a lot of sense. How many shoes do you have listed on eBay then?
On eBay, I don't know how many shoes exactly, but I have around like 900 items in my store right now.
That's not bad. What's your view outlook on the eBay versus the Amazon? Like, what do you see more success with? And because I feel like that volume is just so low on eBay, but you have 900 listings, that makes it a lot different. So, how do you view that type of thing?
Yeah, so I look at it more like eBay is low volume, higher margin, and then Amazon is higher volume, lower margin. It's pretty much it. There's way less returns on eBay as well. I think my return rate is like 3%, and I only sell shoes, so you know, people know what they're buying on there. I would say people would know what they're buying on Amazon too, but the returns are fucking stupid.
Yep. You been into the hype shoes at all? Like, do you do any hype shoes, or at all just like?
Never got into the hype stuff. I initially started like going to Ross, Marshalls, and Burlington's, like buying like high-end cleats or just like cheap, cheap shoes that you can sell for like $80. And I've just basically stuck with that. I tried, but the hype stuff, I never got into it. I know it's difficult. People had plugs and stuff that they can get shoes. I know back in 2020, it was crazy back then with that stuff. So I never got into it.
Yeah. That's for the money, man. If you can get like a bulk amount of those hype shoes, you can make so much money per unit. And you sell them on Goat and StockX, you don't have any returns at all. So you can like literally make $3 and you're fine. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, dude, give me 1 sec. 1 sec.
Yeah. All right. So have you seen it getting like a lot more competitive, like the Ross, Marshalls? I almost feel like that's what I saw when I first started reselling, like, geez, like 6 years ago. And it's like, oh, all that shit is saturated. Like, you can't make any money doing that. Seems like it's like circled back now. Like RA is like the play and OA is trash.
I do think definitely that there are cycles, because for the last like couple years, like RA was so bad. Like Ross didn't have anything, the outlets didn't have much, and that's why I stopped going. And back in like 2023 is when I started doing OA heavily and stopped going to the stores. And then yeah, sometimes I do more eBay, sometimes I do more Amazon, and it just goes like that basically. But in terms of saturation, I mean, there's always people in the stores. There's always other people who are doing what you're doing. Um, but I don't think it's oversaturated.
You think it will be with that? Because I feel like that model, everybody's like promoting it on social media, like the Marshalls thing. That's like the most standard thing, right? So you think
Yeah.
that'll get like so hard over time, it's not worth it, or there'll be like so many competitive sellers on there, or do you think that like regionally or like locally and things, it makes a big difference?
Well, I mean, I don't personally. I don't see a lot of like. I don't know if you're talking about like shopping shoes there, but like I see a lot of like sourcing Amazon videos for Ross and stuff, like selling perfumes, toys, and
Yeah.
stuff. I personally don't go to those sections or anything, so I don't know anything about that. But in terms of the shoes and stuff, um, I definitely think there are more people getting into it, but it's not like people can buy like 10 shoes. Like if you're a new seller, you're not gonna go in there and buy all the shoes that I'm buying, and you can't hold them for as long as I hold them. At least I don't think, because like for eBay, like you gotta wait like 90 days before you even sell anything, when you list it. That's how I think about it. Like I know the shoe's not gonna sell within 90 days, like 3 months. Like I'm gonna be holding it, but um, because everywhere in the U.S., everybody's finding the same things. So it's basically a race to the bottom when you see a shoe at Ross. But over time, the people who are taking the price sell out, and then that's when the higher price shoes get a little better.
How
Not
about
too good, but not bad either.
how about cash flow? How do you deal with that if you're holding all these things so long?
Real quick, if you've been thinking about hiring a virtual assistant but don't know where to start, VA Fastlane makes the process dead simple. They just don't throw you a random VA. They actually line up 4 highly qualified candidates based on the skill level you need. Whether it's online arbitrage, wholesale, or whatever business model you're running, they got you covered. Then you interview the ones you like and pick the best fit. No guessing, no generic VAs who don't even know anything about Amazon. And it works whether you're just starting out or running a full blown operation. They offer both part time, 20 hours a week, and full time, 40 hours a week.
Plus, they've already placed over 140 VAs for Amazon sellers, and they offer free unlimited replacements. So if someone isn't the right fit down the line, you're covered. It's run by Carter Maxwell. You've heard of him on the show, and he's built a team so dialed in, he only spends 4 to 5 hours a week on his own Amazon business. So if you're ready to scale with a VA who's trained, proven, and backed by a solid system, book a free call at the link below and talk to Carter. And make sure to ask about the special offer for the Side Hustle Experiment listeners.
I mean, the shoes aren't that expensive. Um, so, but in terms of cash flow, I don't know, bro. Just my old stuff is selling, and my new stuff is sitting. You know, like my old stuff from like so long ago is still sitting. Like I have some stuff, but um, yeah, sometimes it's kind of rough when I have to go deep on like an Amazon thing, and like I don't have the cash flow. But yeah, I just deal with it.
Yes, in terms of like scaling this whole operation, do you see yourself doing more OA stuff, getting better at that, or are you trying to be like, okay, I'm going to hire people to go to these Rosses and Marshalls? Like, what way are you inclined to scale things up? If you even want to, maybe you don't.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for the last I don't know how long. I know another reseller that I run into quite often that was pretty big on IG. Um, he told me he lost access to it. I forgot his ad, dude. Oh my gosh! But he's here in Georgia. I'm based in Georgia, and I see him around. And he told me he has like sources and stuff, and he has like a warehouse, like a 2K square foot warehouse. And that's something that I'd definitely be interested in. I just need to like actually try to like, let's say if I want to scale, go find sourcers, teach them how to source and all that. But as for now, I'm just gonna stick to myself, and I don't know if I'm gonna scale it like super big or anything, but I'll see. Once I fill up my house, I'll see if I get like a little warehouse or something.
It's a big commitment too. I mean, you got
True.
most of the time you got to sign for like a year, right, or more. I don't know, John. You know more about that than me.
It's usually like 2 years they want. Like one, if you
Minimum.
want to do 1 year, the rent's going to be much higher. But if you commit to 2 years, or sometime, I think when I did mine, the guy was like kind of rich, so he didn't really care. So he let me do 1 year. But he's like, if you do 1 year, the rent's going to go up in year two. Only went up like 100 or $200. But yeah, when I was looking at bigger spaces for the game, like, and that had docks and this stuff, and like you go to this warehouse and it looks really nice. Like, oh yeah, if you like want a wall, we'll put a wall. We'll do this. We'll do that. But like you're paying for all that construction, and they build it into your lease later, and it's like a 3 or 4 year commitment. So they're willing to do all the work, but like you're paying for it. They're just tacking it onto the rent. Depends on the situation, but like that's kind of what I did. I would have been so screwed because there was one warehouse I wanted, and like all the influencers on social media is like, yeah, get a bigger space than you need if you're gonna grow into it. This I would have been so screwed because when I got my first warehouse, literally doing books, the COVID happened and restock limits hit, so I would have had like a space where like was probably 3 or 4 times way too big and no way to really acquire a lot of books quick because like a lot of supply chain was cut off. I would have had a merch fulfill. Like that building was not set up to merch fulfill. Like it would have just been an absolute disaster. I would have been locked in for 3 months or 3 years. But I think there was like a lot of like you could break your lease because of COVID type of shit. So I probably would have done that, but yeah, getting a warehouse, it seems great on paper. You're like, oh, I have a space. Like, I don't have to work from home anymore. But then like you get there and then you quickly realize how expensive shit is. So like when you get a warehouse, now guess what? You're a business, so your internet is like twice as much
Right.
for like the same shitty service. It's like you get business internet, and for that it's like 2 years. So like personally here, let's just say it was $100. For the business, it's like $200. You, depending on your situation, like you need a dumpster, so now you need trash service. Now you have electric. Like it just like keeps adding up. I was like, oh, guess what? Like you need work tables. Like it's just like stuff you don't like think of. And then like depending on the lease setup, it's like depends on like what you're responsible for. Like for one of my garage doors, like the bay, like it broke. Like it wasn't like my fault or whatever, but like in the lease, it was just kind of like we have to split that
Wow.
cost. Because like I guess the assumption was like it was fine when I got there. But yeah, it's just like little shit like that that just like pops up. And you're like, whew, yeah, like wasn't expecting like to have to pay like $1,500 for this garage door. I mean, all leases are different, but
For sure. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of been avoiding getting a warehouse. Haven't ran out of space either yet, so let's see.
Did you not think about a prep center at all? I feel like that's a little bit of a solve issue, not for the RA side, but for the OA side at least.
I got a prep center for the always stuff.
Okay, and you do all of it to a prep center.
Yeah, whatever I can.
And when you're
are
doing
you
OA, do you do only shoes there too?
No, I do like health and household, whole bunch of different stuff for OA, but some shoes as well, and clothing as well.
Yeah. How's the shoes and clothing right now? I know I used to do that a lot. So is it easier to source? Is it harder, or do you like the other stuff better?
I like only check one site ever, so I mean it's not like I'm sourcing all like every day. It's just like whenever they run a sale, I see SKUs that I've sold before, and if they have them, I buy them. If they don't have them, whatever, I just don't buy anything.
interesting? So you're mainly doing then RA then would be like your main, if you would say.
Yeah,
Sweet. What are your kind of thoughts about like Amazon, kind of like the recent crackdowns, where it's headed?
that I honestly think it's kind of crazy, but I haven't been affected yet. Say yet because I don't know when. Like I'm gonna be restricted one day in Nike or something. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's been good for me because I can still sell, for example, Nike, and I'm just throwing up FBM stuff, and it's just selling within a week, and it's pretty cool. Like also like high rank shoes that I've never thought I'd list sell, and I'm like, I never tried FBM either since I'm doing so much RA right now. And since they're like way less Nike sellers, I'm throwing up some Nike shoes up there, and they're doing pretty good. But as of now, um, it sucks to see everybody like be affected by the stuff, but um, yeah, just what comes with Amazon, they're really unpredictable, or they're not unpredictable. You can just think like they're like this is gonna happen eventually in the future, and probably prepare for it.
So you're able to sell Nike still on Amazon,
Yeah,
all of it or certain SKUs?
I know there's certain SKUs that are like restricted or something, but I never sold like any of those. I think I saw one that was like a sock listing or something,
Yeah.
but I never sold Nike socks. I know that's a Cook or something, but I never learned about them.
Yeah, I don't know if it is as much anymore. I heard somebody the other day, somebody tell us on the pod maybe, or I heard something about this huge cash back loop. Oh yeah, they told us this that we just had a guy on that talked about like this automated sourcing stuff that he was doing. He was running like codes where he was scraping. He does shoes and clothing as well, so he like scrapes websites. It was pretty insane, really. But like how the cash back on a certain website was given like 40%, so you would sell the socks for basically break even or 5%, but your cash back was so high it didn't even matter. And I didn't know people were doing that for a long time. I was like, how are these people profitable? But they weren't even profitable on the front end. They were just collecting like 30-40% cash back on the back end.
That makes 100% sense because that was the same thing. I was like, how are people cooking up socks? But
Yeah.
I guess they were eating on the cash bag. Damn.
Yeah, because that was the whole. Because when I heard that, I was like, "Oh my god, makes total sense." So everyone would be like, "Oh, it's just a Kohl's cash. Like how you leverage your Kohl's cash. That's how you get the socks down." But like the person that he was referencing is like a huge sock seller, and basically, yeah, like they're basically double stacking. Like we're not going to give away the name of the site, but it's not like the typical site. And I was like, damn, like that is such a hack and such a loop. And they were literally making $0. They were probably negative on the socks, and once you factor in returns and stuff like that. But they were making like, let's just call it like a guaranteed, let's call it like 15 to 20%,
Yep.
regardless, which is absolutely insane.
Okay.
You,
Damn,
you,
that's why people cooked up Nike then.
yeah. Did you pay attention to a lot of stuff like that? I know all those places you're talking about shopping at, they got those like crazy credit cards that give you 5%. Did you do any of that type of stuff? Like 5% back at TJ Maxx or whatever?
Nah. Every time I go to like Marshalls, they always ask like everybody, like when they go to the counter, they want to open up a card and they get like I think it's 5%. But nah, I've actually opened up a Dick's Sporting Goods account, but that was just like for the fuck of it, to see if it was even worth it. But yeah, I have not used that card since, so I don't think I'm gonna be opening another another card.
I guess if you hit the
Anytime
price
soon.
RA a lot though, wouldn't it be worth it maybe?
Yeah, I think it actually would because like right now I'm hitting Marshalls like crazy, buying a whole ton of stuff from Marshalls. But that I have so many cards, I'm like I don't want to keep carrying the cards. So I mean that's just my excuse. But you know it's not a bad deal if you're getting the cash back that they say you are.
I guess the only issue though would go against you personally, because like you're not getting a business card,
True, that too.
so that would like tank your credit.
Yeah, if you paid it off, no.
True.
Yeah, well, I think the problem is those. I used to work for TJ Maxx when I was in college. I think that they flag you for reselling like fast. If you're like running up your whole credit card on like the same items and stuff, so they just
Yeah.
won't even give you your cash back. So you just get completely screwed.
Oh fuck that! Then I'm not open.
Yeah.
I was seriously considering opening up like a Marshalls card or something. I mean, I know it's Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and all those stores they own, Sierra and all that.
Yep.
I was like, huh, that's actually not bad considering all this money I'm spending right now. But if they flag you,
yeah.
what's the point? What the heck?
And the limits were bad too. I remember we were incentivized to like get these credit cards for people. But I knew a little bit about the credit cards. I was like, I'm screwing every person here. And like people would open the credit card, we'd have to run like multiple checks, and they'd have a $300 limit. Like I think the highest I ever saw was like a $1,500 limit. So you wouldn't even get a big limit. I don't even know if it is 5%. It might be 2%, which is like literally just standard. And they give you like a 10% off coupon. I'm like, dude, you guys are completely screwing these people. Like
10% off coupon your first purchase.
It like limits itself at $250 or something. It was just crazy. But I would assume that you probably couldn't even use it, or people would talk about it more if you could. I would say.
I think that's the Walmart card. I think you get like $1,500 max, and there's no way to get it up. I think it gives you like 2% or maybe 3% back. But I don't know. With $1,500, I mean that's not a lot to work with for sure.
Amazon's got a good one. They give you 5% back on all your A to A stuff. I don't know if you do any A to A, but that one's pretty good.
I bought Garrett's course. I forget his at, dude. It's his at.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But I never looked at it, so no. I don't
You
do
didn't
the
even
A
look
to A
at it?
stuff. I bought it, bro, and I never even fucking saw it. I never even looked into the A to A, his A to A course.
Yeah, A to A shoes are good. I used to do a lot of those. So that might be something to look into. You can get a lot of price drops on like Skechers and stuff like that, Adidas, and then flip them right back. And the margins are usually really good too.
Nice.
Something
to look into that.
Yeah. I don't know what else you got, John. Or you want to talk about anything that you come on here with you have any topics you want to discuss?
Whatnot is not what it seems, you know. No, shout out Levi for putting us on to Whatnot, but definitely is it's a volume game, margin game. You got to get your stuff so cheap, bro.
Yeah, well, dude, here's the thing that I've been trying to tell everybody that like hasn't succeeded on Whatnot, which I haven't either, but I see this. It's just not the same as eBay and Amazon and stuff. Like Levy's kind of running it the same, but that's because he can get 65 pallets at a time, and his units are probably like 30 cents or whatever, so it doesn't even matter. But there's also other ways to look at it. I think you got to look at it as like a social media platform, not an Amazon, not an eBay. Because think about it, if you were a famous person, like I gave John this example, if The Rock went on there and he sold a roll of toilet paper, he would sell it for like $1,000, right? Started at $1, it'd probably run up to $1,000. So there is something you can do to get a higher bid for your stuff, but you have to have some kind of like entertainment factor, like social factor, which Levy doesn't really talk about that, but he doesn't run his operation like that. But you could do something completely different. Like I know people on there, the snack people, like they're just selling candy, but they're selling like $40 a box because they're fun. They're making the show fun. They're doing different stuff. So I think that's where the whatnot could succeed. But it's just going to
That's
take
true.
some time to develop that. And I don't ever hear anybody really say that, but I think that's the key long term to it.
Yeah, you ever watch Cool Kicks live stream?
Probably. If they're which one's that? I probably have.
Oh, the Indian guy with the glasses. I think his glasses sells sneakers, but he runs stuff like in 1 second. He has like consecutive, always like 1 to 2K people in his streams. Does
Yes.
crazy giveaways. Has entertaining ass stream. Like you want to keep watching the stream. Um,
Yep.
he's insane. Like that's a great example. So like the entertainment factor. But like shoot, like I'm boring. I don't know what to tell you. you
Yeah.
know?
Yes. You could.
I've actually seen a couple years stream. So I did one stream and I was like, because Drew is all about it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try. We have all this AIP stuff. And like, kind of like my assumption going into it was like, you literally could just like hold up this post-it note and someone's going to buy it for $1, like guaranteed or whatever. Obviously that's not the case. So I had like about 10 different items like I'm going through, and like my very first one was like, all right, this is what we got. It was like a set of golf balls, like brand new, started at $1, and like no one bought it, and just like threw me off. And I was like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
god damn, like okay, like next night. And I just started like panic. I think the show only went for like 10 minutes, but like right then and then and then I was watching other people's shows and they would put something up and it wouldn't sell. I was like, oh, like this seems like this happens like quite often, because like they were doing it for like 20 minutes and they just weren't selling it, and people are like, oh, do a giveaway, and they
Yeah.
kind of do. And I was like, oh, okay, like this is like kind of normal. But and then I sold a headset, I think, for like $1 that
Oh,
was like selling on $20 for Amazon, and I made like 30 cents, I think. But I was kind of like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, I got a good thing going with like AIP and like UGC. It's like, I don't know if this is like the right fit for me to kind of build in the fold. It is interesting though, to kind of like, yeah, watch all the different streams, and like, it is kind of like demoralizing. I think I saw one of yours and you were like, I don't know what you were selling. Maybe it was like a fan, or I don't even know. Maybe a handheld fan, and you're just like, all right, like we'll start $1, and then it runs out, and then like no one bid, and then you're like, all right, we'll do 2 fans,
yeah.
and no one bid, and you're like, all right, whatever, like we're moving
Yeah.
on to the next item. And I was
Now
like, shit, like it's
with the
fun.
pallet, I have no choice, bro. We got to run everything. We got to get rid of it. I don't want it. Like, it's just, it's trash to me. But that's why I'm like $1, go, whatever, take it.
Do you think you got ripped off on the pallet, or you think
No,
it's
I don't think we got ripped off. I mean, they had a lot of really good stuff in it. But like when we first did the shows, we were doing $1 starts. We're like, yeah, this is gonna like we were so hyped, like, yeah, this is gonna be great. But we should have like tried to get more out of those like higher value items as opposed to just running them for $1. The streams did do better though when they were ran at $1, which is another reason why like you gotta run stuff at $1 sometimes. But like today I was just 1 hour and 30 minutes. Like I would put up like 30 shoes, like, and nobody would buy any, which I was perfectly fine with because I think I started each shoe at 39, and I'm okay if I sell them at 39. Um, and yeah, just there for like an hour and 30, only sold 6 shoes, which is something I'm trying. See if anything comes out of it.
Yeah, I'm running those T-shirts, and I go and get bids on stuff too. Like I'll run like 5 T-shirts, and I'm just like, "What the hell do you guys want?" Like, there's 12 of you guys. No one say anything. I was on there like 2 nights ago, and I'd had like a few drinks and stuff, and we were pretty late into the stream, and it wasn't going well. I'd sold like, I don't know, 16 T-shirts or something out of like these hundreds that I bought. And I put it up there, and I was like, if no one bids this, I'm gonna rip it in half. And then no one bid the thing. I'm like ripping it, crashing out on whatnot. I'm like, dude, it's so frustrating. But I guess the thing is to kind of do what you did, of like just add something else. Okay, well now you get 2 shirts, and then now you get 3 shirts. Especially if it's like I have to get through the inventory. So maybe I'll probably try that today actually, because I can't be sitting on these shirts. Like you said, they're trash. I don't want them.
Yeah. I mean, that's just whatnot game, you know. You gotta sell through that shit, dude.
I
I guess
think
for the shirts too, you're not really adding much weight, so you're
no,
like probably good.
yeah. I know the cool kicks guy you're talking now. I know. I remember watching him. That was what inspired me to the whatnot. It's like I did the stream. The first one I did but pretty well, and then I went on and watched that dude, and I watched him sell $35 to $40 t-shirts every 5 seconds, and I was like, dude, this guy's selling like $500 a minute. Like, how much money is he making an hour? It's got to be like 5 grand. So I was like, you can get there to where you're just printing like $5,000 an hour because I'm sure that's close to what he's doing. He can't be paying much for some of that stuff if he's
No, but yeah, another thing is like he's famous. He's YouTube famous, I believe. I was like, I don't know how many subs. I think 1 million. Um,
Hmm.
so that's another thing. Like he has people already. Like he has that audience. He just went to whatnot. He has a store, I think in LA as well. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That
he
So
has
makes
that's
a
a
sense.
little
storefront.
bit different.
Yeah, so that's how he has all that stuff. But he's killing on whatnot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I bet he's the biggest person on there. I haven't seen many people with over 1,000 consistently. Some guys, so like walking around like pallets and stuff too. But I'm just like, I don't even understand how 1,000 people are watching this. I wonder if they're view botting. I thought about that too. Like if you view bot, if there's some way to do it, like 200 people in there, like you're gonna click those streams because there ain't many people at 200. So then you might bring in like way more than you normally get. I was thinking about
That's
that,
true.
like how you could do it, but I don't know how. I looked it up. I couldn't find anything. That'd be
Yeah, I don't know how you would do that on whatnot. Maybe they'll freaking flag you for that. Ban you if they find out your view
Yeah,
body.
probably, but it might be worth it. You know, you could probably sell a lot of stuff, and then you could say, "I didn't view bot." You know, somebody else is doing it.
Yeah, that's
Do you do you think you'll try again with like more pallets or different, I don't know,
mm,
categories or?
I like to stay in electronics because people love electronics. When I go like, let's say when we did a shoe stream, I don't know if it's the time or what on our exact same account with like 1.8k followers. I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna have like in our electronic streams, we always have like at least like 15 to 20 people in there like at all times. And then we're like, okay, we're gonna run the shoes. There's gonna be more people in here. We did an electronic stream. We ran a shoe stream exactly right after that. And there was only like 8 people in there. Like it was kind of dead. So I'd like to do another electronic palette if we can get it cheap enough. Like I said, we're gonna try to go source locally, but from the looks of it, I don't know if I want to keep doing the whatnot palette liquidation.
Yeah, I guess electronics one of the most viewed things on there. Probably is the most besides trading cards. Usually, if you look by the most popular, I usually see electronics up there. I don't think a lot of those people are getting them from just pallets, though. I think some of those people are getting their stuff from China because I saw like a few of these like what they were selling. I just looked it up and I found on like Alibaba, and I'm like, dang, these people are printing. They're getting like $2 electronics and selling them $15 like crazy, which is
Yeah, I
probably
think I've seen some of those streams. There's just like random headphones with like random text on the box, and it's like says MSRP 300 or something,
yeah, that's what I'm
something
talking
like
about.
that.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I guess you could just buy that stuff. Now you'd probably have to buy a ridiculous amount of units. I was looking like 1,000 MOQ, but if you're paying $3 a unit, it's just 3 grand. Like it shouldn't be
true.
too big of an issue. I've thought about that. And I know they're printing money on there.
That's
Another
actually
thing,
a great
yeah, yeah.
idea. Put stickers with an
No, they
MSRP.
come with it on there already. I think.
Yeah, it's like text on the box.
Yeah, it's just a random. I went on Temu and I was like, I'm gonna check some of this stuff out, and I ordered like a JBL knockoff speaker, and it was like TGL or something. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It says like $200 on the back, but I paid $3 for it. Yeah, it's good marketing.
Yeah, another thing I noticed, like you gotta have variety because if you have like one thing, like let's say you have 100 of the same T-shirt in all different sizes, people are gonna be like, "What else do you have?"
Yep.
Like, I only have this. They're gonna get off the stream. You gotta have like hella stuff, like hella different items. I think that it'll make your stream better. There'll be more people in there because if people notice you only have one thing or like a few things, and you run it and you keep running them, they're just like gonna leave.
Yep. What are the logistics of getting a pallet to a house? I didn't even know you could do that. I thought that you had to have like a loading dock or whatever. They just drop it outside.
Nah, so they charge like $300 or something for the shipping. 300, actually 370 something.
It's
And
expensive. It's LTL. That's
yeah, it's LTL shipping. and they did inside delivery, so they put it in my friend's garage,
Okay.
and yeah, I think they charged extra for that, but yeah, it was just ordered it off of online platform. If you know, you know. Just look at Levi's stuff. You'll probably know what he's buying stuff on. But yeah, we went on there. It was like an online bidding thing for Amazon returns,
Yep.
and yeah, we got off of there, and there's like people bidding on all different types of stuff. There's like shoe pallets, Target pallets, like a whole bunch of stuff.
Levy told me to go in person. Like I'm sure you have pallet people around you, so you can go see what's on the pallet, so you don't get a bunch of charging cables and shit like you did. I think
No,
that's
for
probably
sure.
the key. Is like I get to see a little bit of what's in the pallet, so you're not getting screwed. Because
Yeah, I
online
mean,
too, you have all that competition who's just like trying to make a buck.
yeah. It also there's some sites that have the manifest list, which has every single item in there, or there's like a like whatever 5%. There could be a 5% difference. Um, so that had it, and I was looking at, it, I was like, okay, some of this stuff is good, but then all the good stuff is on the top, and all the little cable stuff is on the bottom, and like, once you take out all the boxes, the headsets, and all that, you're left with like 600 cables and all that shit.
What kind of
I was look.
cables are these?
Like they're like display port HDMI cables. They're like adapter cables, like USB C to Ethernet adapter, like a whole bunch of random stuff. We also got a whole bunch of in the pallet, like Wi-Fi mesh extenders or something. We probably got like 200 of those, and we're just trying to sell those. Like, we got to throw them up every minute on the show to try to sell it because we have so many.
What were you saying, John?
I was gonna say I was actually looking. I don't know on Facebook Marketplace at pallets, and now like of course they would pop up all the time. That's the same exact thing. This used to happen with books. Like you'd be like, oh, we're selling pallets of books, and like on top, it's just like, if you could just take 2 seconds and subscribe to this YouTube channel, we would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get to 5K subscribers by the end of the year, and the more subscribers we have, the better guests we can get for you. So you literally just take 2 seconds right now, hit subscribe. It will also let you know when new episodes go live and everything we're up to. Thank you so much. Like a layer of textbooks, and you're like, bro. Like, no fucking way. Like, under them, they're like probably all romance novels, kids' books. Like, there's just no way that it's like that. Which is just like funny that you say that. I feel like a lot of the palettes by me that I've seen are a lot of like bigger shit that would be like a big pain in the ass to like ship.
Mhm.
It's like leaf blowers or drill like big power tools where it's like you're probably getting like 30 or 40 per pallet. And like on paper, it probably sounds good, but then it's like to ship that. I don't know. I don't know what the cost per like good would be either.
Yeah,
But I feel like that's the tough part for you because it's like, oh, well, you could sell the good shit maybe like on eBay or something else, but then like your show, you just have a bunch of shit that like no one wants. So that doesn't work that way.
yeah. No, that's why we were like just like everything on whatnot, and we'll see how it goes. Um, but I do want to try seeing if we can source anything like local cheaper. I don't have high hopes, but we're gonna see. I'm not completely done yet, but
What
kind
do
of
you
got
think
cooked on
Levy's
those.
key is to being like? Do you think he's really making like a ton of money on it? And how do you think? Do you know him well or what?
No, I don't know him, but I've responded to all his stories that I see when he posts about whatnot, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna do this shit. What you're doing? I'm gonna see how it goes. He's like, okay, and I was like, all right. But honestly, I don't know. He has employees and stuff, so it's even more overhead. Um, so if he has all that, I'm assuming he was making a decent amount for him to have employees and for him to not run the shows.
Yeah, and
Um,
he was on the pod and he said he was making like a really good margin, which I'm like, after thinking about it, I'm like, man, he's got to be getting this stuff so cheap. Like, I don't know
yeah.
how many pallets he gets at a time. He was telling us he spent 10 grand. So if he's getting like
Okay.
a ton of pallets for like 10 grand on an order, maybe it's less than, I don't know, because you can't do $5 like you said. You can't make that work. You got to be like sub $1, I think.
Yeah, for to run stuff consistently at $1, yeah, because like whatever, like you don't care if you sell it for $1 or not. Yeah, but I mean that's crazy. 10K.
Yeah, he was spending like 10K consistently on pallets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he meant a one. I would assume not. I assume he meant like a lot of
Yeah,
pallets.
yeah.
But he has good stuff too. I mean, I'm in there. I see that stuff sometimes, and
Yeah,
he's
I bought
literally.
some stuff from him.
You have.
Yeah, like before I started doing, I was like, "What the heck?" And then I got the pallets, and there were some of the exact same stuff I would bought from him. I was like, "Shit, I should not have bought this."
Oh, so I guess so. The pallets, you think they're like the same type of things over and over?
I mean, they're Amazon returns from Amazon, so they're. I don't know if they're putting the same shit in each pallet or what, but it was like the exact same stuff that he was selling. We got in the pallets.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know Levy's killing it, but it's hard to me to like see the liquidation pallets how that'd be the best option. Because I had a bunch of ideas too. Like, imagine you made something, like, or you had your own thing you were making, and it was like different variations. You could just sell that, even if it was like a food or something like that. I feel like that would probably be more profitable. And he's running all day. You know, you don't want to really run a show all day unless you just want to hire employees like that.
Yeah, I think another thing is like you got to create hype around your show, or like you got to schedule it in advance, because if you do a stream same day and like people are not gonna show up. You want people to bookmark the show and all that, and they'll know and get the notification when you go live.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like um, it'll just help for people to get notified. But like right now, I scheduled the stream at yesterday. Well, the stream that I did today in the morning, I did it at 8, and I scheduled it or made the show on my whatnot page at 12 in the morning. So I only had 3 bookmarks. Um, so that's another reason why maybe some people don't show up to the show. Like they wanna know in advance.
Man, I want to make it work so bad because the listing and the shipping, it's so easy. Like, do you list individuals or are you just doing like
No.
shoe? Yeah, it's awesome, dude. You don't even have to put a picture. You just put a bulk picture of shoes on there and then just run
Yeah.
it. It's like the simplest way to move inventory ever. That's why I'm like so adamant about I've got to make this work because it's just so efficient. Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
learn all these things. You don't need a bunch of softwares. You probably need 0 softwares, literally. You just run
Just
the
need the
app.
phone.
Yeah, you just need a phone. Yeah, and maybe an iPad or whatever to kind of like run the show. And yeah, I have high hopes. I'm not giving up on it yet. I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna stream for a few more months, at least try to build an audience, and then we'll see where it goes. But
Yeah,
now you're
same.
making me not want to do liquidation ones for sure, because that's
Yeah, no.
whatever you said. I expected that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not telling you not to do it, but it's difficult if you don't get it cheap enough.
Yeah. What about shoe things?
Oh, my bad, guys.
There you go.
It's all good.
Tripping.
For real, bro. That's no chill.
Have you thought about like a way to get bulk shoes or things like that, like from Goodwill or whatever? You don't have to have the nice ones, right?
Buying from where,
Like Goodwill, things like that.
bro? I've never seen Goodwill pallets before. I've never
I mean, like
thought
just
about.
going to Goodwill and getting shoes.
Oh, to run?
Yeah.
Nah. Nah. I'd rather go source like in Marshalls or something. Not that it's bad, but sometimes the shoes are like dirty or like. I honestly haven't stepped in Goodwill in forever, so I don't even know what to look for. I mean, they're shoes, but still, at the same time, I don't like used shoes. I don't like dealing with them.
Yeah, probably not too appealing on whatnot either.
True. The
Yeah,
used shoes.
guy we just talked to, he said he asked around about shoe pallets, and the guy just laughed at him. He said, "You have any pallets of shoes?" And the guy just laughed. I guess it's like shoes are probably too high end for that type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried. I wanted to do shoes, liquidation, but like, if this is a liquidation and if it's like electronics, I don't want it. I don't want it.
What other liquidation is there? What kind of stuff? I mean,
Dude, there's liquidation for everything. I'm assuming, but
yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't
do
know if
wonder
it's
if like
good
media
stuff.
would do good, like DVDs, CDs.
Oh, dude, we got media in the pallet. Nobody likes it.
Yeah.
I mean, not because like I don't know if it's the movie itself, because like it's a bad movie or what, but like we're tossing up like 20 Blu-rays, like all right, this for $10, go. Like they see the titles, no bids, nothing. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I don't know, so bad.
Toys.
We still
I,
have all
I
that
see
stuff.
toy pallets. I'm sure that could go well. I saw somebody slinging toys on that the other day, like putting like plushies or whatever, and selling them for like $4 or $5. I'm like, if you got them for 50 cents, you're just like printing $3 or $2 a thing. And he was like, this one, this one, this one, like every 2 seconds or whatever. So the toy thing can work too. You just have to have enough people for that, I think.
Oh yeah, that's true. We sold a plushie for like $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your style? Do you do? I don't know much about it, but you could do what, like 30 seconds, 10,
Um,
15, 5.
we used to do like 20 seconds, and now since we have so much stuff to run, we're doing 10 seconds. I'd like to do 5, but sometimes like I grab something and I don't know what it is. I have to read what it is,
Yep.
and that's why we do the 10 seconds. So the um the less it is, the better, because the buyer has to like kind of rush to bid on it. They kind of get that feeling of like impulse to bid on it and all that. So I think the less time you have, if you explain it before you run it, or if you explain it while you're running it, it's better.
Dude, that it's funny you say that. That's exactly what I'm gonna do today. I noticed this last night. I was just like, "What kind of size you guys want? What colors you want?" And it's like slow, so it's like one person bidding $1. I'm like, okay, I'm doing all size large, rapid fire, 5 seconds, like go for it. And I sold more in that little time period than the rest of the show combined. So that's all I'm about to do today. It's like rapid fire. We're going small. We're going medium. We're going large. Just bid. You have 5 seconds. I'll try to tell my best what it is, and then we'll go from there. And I think they get so they're so into it. Like, oh, I got the dopamine. Like, I'm gonna win this one. I'm gonna win this one. They'll buy like 6 things in a row, and then you're good. But you gotta like really get it going fast. And electronics would be tough because you do have to read it. You don't know what you're even picking up, right?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff is like stuff we've already ran, so I know what it is. So I just get it and be like, boom, this for 5 seconds, go, and then grab another thing and go. Internet Isaac, I don't know if you guys know him, but he told me about that, about the impulse thing, to run the stuff at a lower time. So people do like a little impulse bid or impulse buy, because basically one everybody's doing impulse buys.
Yep. And I guess
Fucking
if you run
crazy.
it for too long, I think if you run it for 10 seconds, if somebody has 5 seconds to think about it, they're probably not even going to do it.
For sure.
But if they have like 5 seconds, you got 2 seconds to make a decision. Boom, I'm on there. And then if somebody sees like, okay, somebody else wants this. Yeah, I see that happening like constantly. So there's that whole aspect of it too. Like sales tactics, you kind of got to do like, I don't know, whatever they would do in real life to sell stuff.
I like the candy guy. Like, I don't know if you've seen the candy. I've sent it to Drew, but basically, like every bid he gets, he like adds more candy to the box. I'm like, that's like a great angle to do. And then I don't know, he just sets it up so good too. Like for that, I do find it weird because it's like there probably takes like a minute. So like what he'll do is he'll like be like, oh, this is what we're putting in the box. Then he like dumps the box out, and then he's like, all right, we're gonna start it. Then he's like putting it in the box, and he's like, all right, let's do this. He's like, oh, for everyone who bids, I'm gonna add more of these. Like they're like little pieces of candy. And he's like, oh man, like the box, I don't even know if it's gonna be able to shut or whatever. And I was like, man, like what a great like angle to be like, yeah, this box is so big that I'm not gonna be able to shut it. And you see people just like keep going, and they're like, do a chocolate box, do this, and so like they're very into it. I'm just
Yeah.
like, that's so interesting.
Is that the guy who wears the costumes too?
I think so. I think that's what you're
Yeah, I
talking
think
about. Yeah.
so.
He wears like an apron sometimes and things like that, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited to see like kind of where it goes. I think a cool aspect of it too is like I don't know how many people are on that app right now, but there's like not over I don't know 50, 100,000 people at a time. But I don't know if you know about the Twitch streamers like Kai Cenat and those dudes. They'll have like 50,000, 75,000 people just in their stream. So
Yeah.
whatever like brings more people on whatnot, I think things will change too. Because if your stream like automatically 5x's in viewers just because there's that many more people on the platform, that changes everything. Like you're never not going to sell an item because there's going to be 100 and some people watching every stream. And I've never seen people not sell stuff with over 100 people.
Yeah. That's
I
another
did.
thing.
Yeah, I feel like I've started Gary V. I did Google it quick. I don't know if you can still do it, but he was like streaming on his YouTube channel, his Whatnot. And he's like, I'm only doing the podcast on Whatnot. So like people were forced to watch the Whatnot stream, and then he would give away like I don't know whatever the animals, his plushes or whatever, or sell them. And I was like, that's an interesting because you're doing like basically live content. It's not necessarily about the items, but then like he obviously was selling stuff. But it's also Gary Vee, so it's like.
Oh, maybe we should start doing that. Put the podcast on Whatnot. But
I actually thought about that the other day, and I was like,
Yo,
maybe we should do that. Be like, all right, Drew, like hold up a
dude, the
T-shirt.
cool thing, we could run giveaways the whole pod. You really
Yeah,
could do that. You could have a moderator running like, and then all those followers from Whatnot, some would spill over to YouTube or whatever. Man, maybe that is like kind of the move. Like, not bad.
yeah, one night you're always gonna have at least one viewer, dude.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say minimum 5 actually
Yeah, that's
at
what
all
I'm
times.
seeing. Well, if it gets over 5, I'm just like, all right, guys, we're into this. Like, I don't think it's just me in here. But we went live one time and it was like 80 viewers at a time. That gets pretty intense because you can't read the chat. It's like going super fast. Everything's getting
Yeah,
bids. But to get 80, I don't know. I don't know what the secret formula is, but that.
run givvies all the time.
Yeah, but dude, that problem with those a little bit is you just get cheap people in. Like,
Dude, everybody on Whatnot's cheap. They're like, we're in this at $1.
yeah,
Where's the $1 starts?
yeah, it's
But
ridiculous.
they're like, do $1 starts, and there's 5 people in the fucking in the chat. I'm like, bro, hell no.
Yeah,
those giveaways are addicting though, because when I was like heavily considering it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch a bunch of these or whatever. And like you enter the giveaway, one, it's like so easy to enter, and then two, you're like waiting for them to pull it, like waiting for them to do it. Like I don't want, like you're kind of bored, you're like, I don't want to go to the next stream. I don't know if you leave the stream.
you don't get it.
Okay, so then yeah, you're like, oh, I want to like stay here or whatever, and they're very like strategic about like when they do it, and it's pretty crazy too. Because when I first came across it, I saw there's this girl, I think it's like Kate CEO. She's pretty big on Instagram, and supposedly she's done like millions. And she'd be like, oh, like we got micro cores bags, we've got like all this crazy stuff, and there's like we're giving away like 10 iPads tonight. I'm like, how the hell is that even possible? But I guess like it just works.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's another way to spice up the stream too. Do like the higher end giveaways. Like, I'm giving away a fucking iPad.
I was also about giving away a PS5. But dude, like that means you have to at least make like $400 in your stream, like minimum, and that's profit. I don't know. It's tough. What if
Yeah,
it doesn't pan out? I can imagine you do that, and there's like 8 people in there. You're like, we're gonna delay this PS5. We're gonna do this next week.
people do sometimes where they're like, people sponsor the giveaways.
Oh
We
yeah.
try to do that, and actually somebody like bought like we put it for $25, and somebody bought like a thing to sponsor a giveaway, and we're like, oh, they bought this to sponsor a giveaway, so like we give away an Apple Pencil, and then when we did that, there was like so many people who came onto the stream. There was like 60 something people. We went from like 30, 36, and then when we started talking about that giveaway, it was like 60 people came in. I was like, what the hell?
It's what that, I wondered that though. Like why? I noticed the same thing because I did that giveaway on something bigger. How do they know what the giveaway is? Is Whatnot pushing that or like I
I
don't
think it's
understand.
that Whatnot algorithm or something, dude, because it's just like, just hella people just come out of nowhere. I'm like, where was this the whole stream? I mean, like we were running normal giveies the whole stream, but then when we talk about something like that, it's like just random, just more people come in, which is honestly crazy. Which I mean, incentivizes people to do that more, but you know, you can only do it so much.
Yeah, or you're just gonna be losing money all the time.
How do you
Mhm.
get a sponsor? They just decide to randomly sponsor your show.
Not sponsors, like you put up a listing and that says sponsor a giveaway for the show, and then people buy it like if it's an actual item.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's like, yeah, like that, and then we just put up the giveaway.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then you ship them a piece of paper, something, whatever, nothing, basically.
That's interesting. Well, closing in on almost an hour. You got any good words for the people? Wise words about reselling or whatever?
Guys, if you're reselling, keep reselling, stay consistent. Don't stop unless you run out of money. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then quit.
Don't quit,
John.
Where can everyone find you?
guys. All right, guys. I'm starting to upload YouTube content again on the RA stuff. So KVFlips on YouTube. I'm gonna be trying to do some short form stuff. I gotta see if I can do clips or something from the YouTube videos. But yeah, KVFlips everywhere: Instagram, YouTube. That's pretty much it. Where I'd be active mostly, and KVFlips on Whatnot.
Yeah, need that.
All right, man. Thanks for being here. Go follow him, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.
Appreciate you
Peace.
guys.
If you enjoyed that episode of the podcast, you will love the full-blown podcast we did on how to get started selling on Whatnot with Vero. That will be right here. Go watch that if you want to figure out how to make money on Whatnot. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe. You guys are awesome.